right, welcome back on Good Morning Artesia as we conclude our broadcast for today with our Wednesday segment with Central Valley Electric Cooperative. And Raelynn Bean is here. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
How are things?
They're good.
Did you get through the weekend okay?
I did.
Did you take part in any of the things that were going on in the community?
I did, yes. So my father-in-law brought his little hot rod truck down, and he and my son did the cruise on Friday night, and that was really fun to watch. And
yeah,
all those cars are amazing. How
they really are.
How people have redone them, and they're neat. I like it.
Keep them up to date, and there's always something to do on them, right?
Absolutely. And then we went and saw Tim Tebow.
How was that?
It was great. We had a good time.
Was the pit packed?
There were a lot of people there.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So.
Yeah.
And if they keep doing it, I think it's just going to grow.
Yeah.
So.
Well, good. Yeah. I did not. I had things to do too on Friday and Saturday, and so I missed out on some of that. I did listen to the old music that we played on the radio Friday night for the cruise.
Oh, there you go.
That was a lot of fun, and he actually was playing requests.
Okay.
And some people were phoning in requests, which were kind of neat. So.
Kids nowadays, they don't know what that means.
Exactly.
To phone in a request to the radio station. And then you sit there and listen, and you wait for them to tell, say your name, and this is what you requested.
That's right. Yeah. Nobody has any clue on that. Now it's all just, well, here's my playlist.
Right.
I don't like that song, which I admit to, I do the same thing.
Oh, I do too.
No Bruce Springsteen. Get him off my playlist. I don't want to hear that. But that's cool. It was a good weekend, and I think everybody now can slow down for just a little bit, and then we'll pick it back up.
Because we had to put everything in the same weekend.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, we couldn't dole it out over a couple of months. We had to do it all in one. That's true. What I wanted to talk to you about in the newsletter. Oh wow, the historic Route 66 is on the cover.
In the enchantment.
In the enchantment.
Yes.
On page 17, there's an increase in PCA may cause an increase in bill. So I'm sure people have seen that. They probably have a couple questions about what does that mean?
So we've been getting several calls, a lot of calls over the last couple of months that people's bills have gone up and they haven't changed anything. So we like to talk to them and go through any, processes of what could cause their bills to go up. And a lot of times what we're finding is that it's not their kilowatt hour usage that was any different than what it was, or a little different than what it was this time last year. Mm-hmm. But the reason that bills are higher is because the price of natural gas is higher, and in turn, that's getting billed to us, and then we're passing that through to our members.
Okay.
So our rates have not changed. The rates are still the same, but the price of natural gas has gone up. And so in February, I think the article references that in February, the co-op paid $1.3 million more for fuel than it did in February of last year.
Okay.
And so what the PCA is, that's called the power cost adjustment or the fuel cost adjustment. And that's been on your bill for forever. Mm-hmm. And it's CVE's way of recovering or refunding any amount that the co-op has paid over or under the price of fuel. And for the past, I've been at CVE for 15 years. So for the past 14 years, that PCA has been a credit back to the members. But because of fuel prices and things like that changing, it's now a charge on your account.
And the people probably don't notice it when it's a refund.
Right.
Because the bill is either the same or slightly less.
Right.
And so they pat themselves on the back for not using quite as much energy the previous month. But when it goes the other way, you immediately start asking questions.
So that fuel, that PCA it's like 1.7 cents. Mm-hmm. And then that is, so however many kilowatt hours you use that month is times that 1.7, what cents it is. And that PCA does change every month, and it is the same for every member.
Okay.
But because of the increased price of natural gas and things like that, that's causing people, I mean, feels higher.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yes.
Dealing with that. Now, was this a similar thing to what members may have seen after the situation in Texas last year?
That's kind of when the price of the natural gas started increasing, and it just hasn't been the same since then. So
so that kind of started the ball rolling, where the PCA went up instead of flat or down.
Right. And you know, people can still try and conserve energy and be energy efficient, because the less kilowatt hours you use, the less that PCA charge will be on your account. So, you know, right now is a kind of a good time. We call these our shoulder months, where you're not really using your air conditioner, you're not really using your heater, and so that's kind of helping your kilowatt hour usage for sure.
Sure. And some of you mentioned trying to conserve energy. The energy audits that are available. This is probably a good time to...
Absolutely. So I talked to Olivia with Green Metal Energy this morning, and she's like, do you have any names for me? Do you have any names for me? So they're ready, and they're just sitting on go, waiting to do these home energy audits. We just need people to call us. And so, you know, they'll do air infiltration, see where you're losing heating and cooling, and then they'll make minor repairs. They'll do caulking, weather stripping. They'll adjust doors. They do change out some LED light. They change light bulbs and provide some LED light bulbs. And you know, if there's some duct work maybe that's disconnected or have a hole in it, they can make that minor repair. And they do a really, really fantastic job. So we've gotten a lot of compliments on the job that they do, and then they're just there to help you save money and energy. Yeah,
and it might help, and it's most likely a combination of a lot of little things. Absolutely. Is what they mostly find. Right. It's probably, I mean, if there's a hole in the door, you probably know there's a hole in the door, and that needs to be addressed. But the little things that they discover that you probably don't think about.
Well, and two, people that are in mobile homes and stuff like that, you know, I see a lot of them where they don't have the skirting around the bottom. That's huge. A good way to lose heating and cooling is to not have that underpinning on the home.
Now, they're not going to do the skirting.
No, they won't do that. No, they won't do that.
And they'll point that out to you.
They will, yes. And they'll check your insulation levels. They got up in my attic and they checked my insulation levels, and they'll let you know, hey, you could benefit if you installed a little bit more insulation.
Okay.
So
I wonder, is that something, I guess it depends on the insulation that you have, is that something that you add to what you already have in most cases?
It does depend on what you have. So if you have like the loose fill, kind of looks like a bunch of wool or cotton or something like that, then you can just put that over it.
Okay. And add that to it.
Yeah, and just add that to it. And I know that the like Home Depot and Lowe's, I'm pretty sure they rent equipment so you can blow that stuff in and do it yourself. So
that's good, and that'll help save money. And then eventually, when the PCA adjustments, hopefully someday
hopefully
go back the other way, then you'll just be that much further ahead.
Absolutely, yes.
When things happen. So
well, and I mean, when it's hot outside and you're running your air conditioner, you don't want that air escaping outside, so you kind of want to keep it in there. And
it's also a good time to consider the benefit of ceiling fans. I mean, you're talking about the air conditioning.
Yes.
Again, and nowadays they're not horribly expensive.
Right.
And just a little bit of stirring of the air.
Right.
You either don't need the air conditioning or you can not use quite as much.
Well, a lot of times if you come in, and this is a perfect example last night where I'm not wanting to turn that air conditioner on, but it was hot yesterday and my house was a little warm and I didn't want to turn the air conditioner on. And so I had been outside, so I may have been a little bit sweaty. Well, you turn that ceiling fan on and it just makes you feel cooler, and then you don't have to turn that on. And
and they use a lot less electricity than the big blower on the air conditioning unit.
Absolutely. But just know that a ceiling fan is designed to keep you cool and not to cool the room. So if you leave the room, you can save energy by turning off that ceiling fan.
I wonder if they've got something we did here at this building that I know has kept it from just, going way higher every year, was the smart thermostats.
Yes.
Now, it's a little more expensive option to do.
Well, but they've become pretty reasonable, for sure, and you can control it with your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. We installed a new one over Christmas, and it's nice.
Yeah, and we've got the little sensors all around, so and then we have our programs set, and the sensors detect if there's activity in the room, and it helps with that, so you don't forget to turn it off if you're not there, or if you make an adjustment to it, it says, okay, I'm putting it back after a certain period of time.
Right.
So.
Well, and then the one I have, it kind of has a guideline on, like a green leaf will come up if it's a optimum.
Right.
Kind of a temperature. Now it may be a little lower or higher than what you would normally do, but if you're not at home.
Yeah.
So we have ours programmed to at 8:30 to adjust for us not being there.
Right. Right.
And then about 4:30 it adjusts for us to come home.
Yeah. And most of them are fairly self-explanatory to install, but if you have any questions at all,
call a professional.
Get your HVAC
Yes.
guy person
Absolutely.
to come and install them, because you don't want to do what Mike Winters did. He put one in the house they were living in at the time.
Yeah.
And then had to call the professional.
Yes, we've done that before too, and it's just because some wire touched and it tripped a breaker up in the attic, and
Yeah. So
we learned that once. The second time we had it figured out.
made the right call. So folks, if they are getting their bill and they have any questions on their bill, anything, ask about the PCA or whatever, they can reach out to CVE.
Absolutely. Yep. You can give
Okay.
us a call at 575-746-3571. And those ladies up front will be more than happy to answer your questions or get you to the right person.
Very good. I think next week we're going to have some special guests on a special day. So
I'm trying.
Cross our fingers
Hey,
on that.
yes.
Hope that happens.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you, Raelynn. Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. That's going to wrap up the show for today. Clay and Buck are coming up next, and then Sean and Mark, and it's Wednesday, so we don't have any sports, so it'll just be our regular list of shows, and then we'll be back tomorrow with Good Morning Artesia at 7. Softball from Hobbs tomorrow afternoon at 4:30. Baseball against Carlsbad Friday here at 5. And then the start of district softball Saturday at 11. So follow along at KSVP and KSVPTV.com. See you tomorrow.